Welcome to Story Time at the Roovians, a weekly podcast where we discuss music and arts festivals. And I'm your host, Brooklyn.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Sharla.
Hey, Merry Christmas. It's our annual Christmas special. Oh my God. So you guys virtually are toasting with us. What do we have right now? What do you guys got?
So I have provided a bottle of Shelter Cavern Spirits Krampus Knot, which is the establishment that I work at, Straight to L's version of Rumpelmans. Basically, it's peppermint schnapps, but it's 120 proof, so it's stronger than Rumpelmans, and he doesn't add sugar to it, so it's not as sweet. So it's my absolute favorite thing. If you're feral like me, then you like just doing shots of peppermint schnapps. Dude, come down to Huntsville, Alabama during the winter holidays and get you a bottle of this Shelter Caverns Spirits Krampus Knot. It is incredible.
Woo. Shit, this gets the job done, man.
Yeah, it does. We put some in our hot cocoa, and let me tell you,
wait,
phenomenal.
Can I try a sip? I've just been drinking it straight.
He's just been drinking it straight. He doesn't have.
He's missing it.
Yeah, he's
oh my God.
actively. Yeah, he's actively burning the chest hairs off of his chest with doing shots of this stuff. Look, I'm telling you, it's so good. If you, like I said, if you're feral like me and you like peppermint schnapps, come try our shit. It's so incredible.
Amazing. Charlotte, what's been good for you this week?
Oh, everything. So I had like 4 different parties this week, corporate parties this week.
Same.
But they all have free food, a couple of them have free booze, so it's all good.
I know all about that life. I've been serving corporate parties.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
Can you tell us any crazy stories about any of these parties? Like, has anybody gone off the chain?
Oh, okay. So we had like a it wasn't Homeland Security, but it was a security company.
Homeland Security.
Yeah, it was some bullshit like that. So it was like a security office company, and they always do their holiday parties with us, and they rented the speakeasy, and I was the bartender. And when they halfway did their business meeting within this party, they also catered this really fancy Italian place called Amerigo's with us, and I got to take some Amerigo's home, which was pretty cool. Shout out to the president of that company. You were amazing, and yeah. Except for the fact that they were hardcore Trump supporters.
Oh, no.
So halfway through this man's speech, he made a joke. He was like, yeah, I was at the Walmart the other day, and I saw on the back of a truck, it was supposed to be a Trump Santa Claus, and I just chuckled to myself, and I was over here audibly gagging.
The president of the security company.
Yeah.
Not the president.
Yeah. He was talking about how he saw a doll of Trump dressed as a Santa Claus, and he was just talking about how great it was, and I was like, oh God, you just ruined everything. And then they didn't tip well. They tipped 11%.
Gross.
Oh, the security.
Yeah, it was he tipped $65 on a $733
Bro, no.
check. It was not cool. But hey, I got free food, and they were really nice to me, so whatever. Yeah, these company holiday parties are crazy.
Well, most of them tip pretty well, just not these security guys.
Yeah.
It sounded like security needed security.
I was bartending a holiday party for the HSV police department.
Oh, wow.
2 years ago in Lips Lounge. And they tipped higher than these guys.
Oh my gosh. So guys, we have our Christmas episode, obviously, because we're already a little toasted on this schnapps stuff. We're going to have a panel that I'm recording after the fact. Brooklyn, Charlotte, and I are recording this on Sunday night. I'm recording a panel Monday night. So there are things happening in the future that I don't necessarily know about. We'll have that here in just a moment. Yeah. We have done this episode for a number of years now. This is a no agenda, not even really specifically related to Bonnaroo episode, where we just kind of cut loose and just talk about whatever and play some party games. So we are going to jump to that panel in just a moment, and I hope you stick around because me and Brooklyn and Charlotte are kind of messed up, and we're going to play these party games also.
Hell yeah, we are.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm
just
still in one from
pretend we're in
Shayna.
Snake and Jake's.
Ooh, I miss Snake and Jake
The
so
Christmas
bad.
barn. Bring it back. Screw this
Listen,
matrimony bullshit.
Before we jump to all this, I got to speak my piece. Bonnaroo is doing a holiday merch drop, and it is such a bummer that is not Snake and Jake's related. That would have been perfect. I saw that blanket, and I have 2 of those nice blankets. I have one on either end of the couch. I keep it here. I take it to baseball games when we sit in the grass. I take it to festivals and stuff. It makes like a perfect little mat to sit on. And I just love it. You know, they're like, what, $60, $70, and I'll buy one at Roo if I like the design. I would have been all about buying one if it was Snake and Jake's related, but it was like kind of like a weird Christmas tree or something, which is cool.
It was like eyes or something.
Yeah.
I blame Jim Alpha.
Jim Alpha.
They don't even know about Jake and Snakes. Wait a minute. We got a lot of new listeners. We should explain it, especially since this is the Christmas episode.
Snake and Jake's Christmas barn.
Yeah. So for many years, it was the barn in Inforoo. Now it's like the wedding chapel or something like that.
House of matrimony.
Truly
listen,
matrimony.
Well, tell them about it. The New Orleans.
Yeah. So, well, we all went there. Well, we didn't go
Dr.
in.
John.
We didn't go in because it was early in the day and it wasn't open. But we took a road trip a couple of years ago. We went to New Orleans and then Austin, Texas. And that morning when we left New Orleans, we swung by there because we wanted to see that, because the barn was based on this place that's roughly the size of like 2 lawnmower sheds pushed together. And that's pretty much it. It's like a bar in the middle of a neighborhood in New Orleans, and it's kind of infamous for a lot of reasons. And I think it was some of the original OG crew from Superfly, who was one of the companies that helped put Bonnaroo together originally, wanted to pay tribute to it. And so the barn in Inforoo was Snake and Jake's, or Jake and Snakes?
Snake and Jake's.
Snake and Jake's.
Yes,
Snake and Jake's.
it was that for many
And
years.
the death of Snake and Jake's. Honestly, I've never stepped foot in Snake and Jake's, and I regret it.
You never went to Snake and Jake's?
I never went to Snake
many
and I
times.
remember walking past Snake and Jake's, because they used to have like the big bubble machine that's supposed to like make snow. I never got to go in Snake and Jake's. And
that was
makes me
cocaine.
so sad.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was one of those places where like the later it got into the night, the weirder it got in there.
I'm telling you, if
absolutely.
they brought it back as Snake and Jake's, I would be the first person in line.
Oh, no.
To head up in
You
there.
missed
No,
up.
because I would be
You
the
messed
first
up.
person in there. Yes, I would die if they brought it back. Like, that was, oh my God.
Well, another thing everybody should know. So a couple of years ago, they sold merch. They had robes, and it said Robe Rage on the back of the robe. Me and Sharla both have one. And that is after the Robe Rage event that they would have basically at sunup. And that was the place that you would want to go to if you wanted to hang out with, like, the Rue bigwigs.
And
Yeah,
this
the people.
event was in Snake and Jake's.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Ashley Capps, Jeff Kular, some of those people back in the day. I don't know. Maybe Brad doesn't want to have that party anymore.
I really
You know?
wish they would just bring it back, man. Like, bring back the OG. Like, let's do a nostalgic year. Like, it's way. I think it goes way better than this matrimony bullshit.
Well, I don't think. I mean, it can be cool, like a Dolly
I'm an advocate
impersonator.
for marriage. Like, go ahead, get married. But like, come on, at Bonnaroo, no.
I don't know. Me and Charlotte might renew our vows one of these days.
That'd be cute. Like, that's
On top of the bus.
I don't
On top of the
know,
bus,
like,
yeah.
like I don't know. I think Snake and Jake's was like a way better
I agree.
use of that space.
Totally agree.
yes,
I miss it
absolutely.
Like
badly.
it makes
Everybody-
And honestly, when I walk past that barn, like I just get really upset because I know what it used to be, and I
Yeah.
never like I guess it's the fact that I never like actually went in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I want it back.
Supposedly, they took it away because of COVID, because they didn't want people crowding the space.
Well, that made sense
My
at the
God,
time.
COVID is
Not
the-
anymore.
COVID.
That's not anymore, yeah.
Can we just focus on the part that like COVID has been an excuse for so many things? Like for one, Walmart closing at 11 instead of being open 24 fucking hours a day. Like, I will be like at 3 a.m. if I wanted an apple pie, I would just go to fucking Walmart and I'd be able to buy an apple pie at 3 a.m.
Or McDonald's. The dollar menu doesn't exist anymore, and they say that's the reason.
The world is going to shit. Okay, I'm pissed. We don't have Snake and Jake's. We don't have Walmart after 11. When now we don't have the dollar menu at McDonald's.
So-
Our pets' heads are falling off.
You know how we have to come in that back way with the bus?
Yeah.
They're eating
Yeah.
the dogs.
I saw the Snake and Jake sign, in the back.
Oh,
You can see it back there.
well, at one point,
Y'all ain't using this. Let's just grab
they
it.
put that sign out in Where in the Woods. So you
Oh.
know those little weird installations to the side in Where in the Woods, there's kind of like a boardwalk that goes to a lot of little miniature houses. This past year, each one of them had like a little mini installation where you could like play with lasers
yeah.
and it made sounds. At one point, that sign was over there. I think they just come in at the last minute and like look at what's in the shed and like, hey, where's a cool place we could put this, you know?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's fine.
We were talking about the heat one time on how hot it is
Yeah.
at Bonnaroo, and Corey said he was going to break out the snow machine.
Oh, please,
Dude,
yeah.
yes.
Again,
That was a
that's
joke.
cocaine. That's cocaine.
That was a joke, though. Nobody took it literally. And I said, if you bring back Snake and Jake's, I'll die.
I wish they would.
I think, like, okay, I want to say, like, the majority of the participants at Bonnaroo are, like, at least 3 years. They've gone to Bonnaroo at least 3 years.
I want to get the stats.
So, like...
Yeah.
Okay, somebody, no. Okay, somebody was arguing with me about this on Reddit, and somebody said that at least 70 to 85% of people were brand new. And they
I don't
said,
think it's that high.
No.
Listen. And I said, where does that number come from? And they said that Corey said that specifically on some podcast at some time, and they were trying to argue with me. And I'm like,
I don't think you said it on ours.
I don't remember that at all. And I listen to like the What podcast pretty often.
I have a crazy good memory for things that I'm like weirdly obsessive about, whether
Yeah.
it be like Tolkien books or baseball stats
I
or
don't
Bonnaroo
remember
facts.
that. Yeah.
And the stat that I remember for like the number of rookies that generally come every year is somewhere between like 55, 60, 65%. It's a
Somebody-
little bit more than you would think, but it's not a lot.
Somebody let me know, because I literally do Bonnaroo trivia.
Yeah.
So please let me know, because I don't remember. I mean, I remember. I would think it was like 50, 65, maybe even 70, but not like 85.
No, I really don't think so. Otherwise, you wouldn't have so many people in group.
Right,
So that just
true,
doesn't really
yeah.
stand to reason. But we'll get to the bottom of that. I can just text Corey or
Somebody
Brad
let
and
me
find
know.
out. Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
let-
I feel
know.
like we should just, like, make a petition to bring Snake Jakes back.
We can make our own. We can
Honestly,
make it in the
we
camps.
could.
There is a camp, a group camp, half Christmas.
Dude.
Oh yeah, it is half
let's-
Christmas
let's have
because
a
it's June.
conversation with those homeboys.
Okay, we'll see what we can
and
find out.
gals.
Well, guys,
And thems and theys.
we have been rambling for a bit. We're going to take a break. Me and Sharla will be back when we're sober to talk about Totem and thank our Patreons. And we're going to have our amazing panel. And then at the end, please stick with us because me and Sharla and Brooklyn are going to play the same party games after we do another shot.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's
yeah.
go.
All right. See you on the other side.
Woo.
All right, guys. I know this is a really long episode. If you are looking at the time thing on Spotify or whatever as you're listening to this, you're like, whoa, this is 2 hours. But I think I kind of made an executive decision while we were recording this. We might just take next week off since it's going to be Christmas. And this is kind of like a bonus episode that'll go through those 2 weeks. What do you think, Sharla?
Or, you could always do a part 1 and part 2.
I'm not really big on that, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had 2 really good talks with, me and you in Brooklyn and then a panel of friends. I'm just going to keep this in. There isn't really anything that you have to, go back. You can, listen to this over the next 2 weeks.
Oh, I got a good idea.
What?
For
What?
next week. You remember when I did that word search?
Yeah?
I could do something like that
Okay.
again. for
You want to
next
put
week,
something like
yeah.
that online for everybody
Yeah.
on Reddit and on all our social and everything?
Yes.
That's a good idea. Do you use some kind of, online app to put that together? Or does Rufus make it?
That is for me to know.
That's for you to know? Okay. Nobody will ever know. Anyways, in theory, we're here for just a moment so we can do the Patreon thing. Like I said, this is a really long episode. We appreciate you guys listening, but we also have to thank our Patreons. You can find it at patreon.com/Rubus, and everything goes to the Totem Foundation. But you already knew that. This is just a good time to be thinking about giving because it's the Christmas season, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So let's go through these names.
I apologize. Ooh, sorry, I had to clear my throat. Okay, I am Rave Dad, Taylor, Courtney, Casey with the Texas Roo Crew,
Yeehaw.
Christy, Charmel,
Oh, she comes up later.
Jums, Sarah, David and Aurora, String Bean, Taylor, Zach and Jeremy, Amber, Andrea, JB, Sam, Austin, James, Chelsea, aka Hygiene Queen, Ryan, got an awesome Christmas card from him.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you, Ryan.
Him and Camp Clear Piss.
That was really cool. They sent us some stickers too.
Yeah. Chris and Shy, Dan, Harris, Keith, Casey, Amanda, Aaron, Nick, Maddie, McFerg, Kent, Randy, Eric and Ben, Evan, Jay, Chloe, and Sean.
Thank you, everyone. We're pulling in about $370 a month for Totem right now. That helps tremendously because it's going to fund everything for our scholarship recipients for this year. And we're putting a lot in the bank to save up for the international program that we're going to hopefully do here in a few years. So thank you for all of your support. Every cent of everything gets put to a good cause, I promise. And look, I want to thank all of you who have given throughout this past year, last year, and everything. It really makes a difference. This has been a really big year for Totem. We have accomplished pretty much every goal that we set out. We had a good showing at South Star. We had a Totem booth next to the bus at Roo back in June. We're planning much more in 2025, and I really have all of you to thank for all of this. It really means a lot.
Yes, absolutely. Again, that's patreon.com/Roobus.
All right, so like I said, we'll make this quick. Let's go ahead and jump into the Christmas panel party thing that we had earlier tonight. And then after that, me and Sharla and Brooklin will be back with a lot more to finish it off. So again, Merry Christmas, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Welcome back, everyone. We've got a bit of a panel for tonight. On our annual Christmas episode, I love having a number of different people on, and we've got a lot of our group, and we've got some others as well. So I'm going to go around the horn and do this a little bit differently. When I go to you, I want you to tell me something good that happened for you in this past calendar year. That's kind of my go-to question when I see someone at Roo and I haven't seen them in a year. I'm like, hey, tell me a good thing that happened since I saw you last time. So I'm going to start with Bonnaroovian of the Year, Miss Chloe.
Hi.
So tell me something positive. What was the best thing that happened for you this past year?
Oh my gosh. Well, seeing all of you in person twice this year, that was a joy. But I got to kind of be along with my mom while she realized a dream of bringing her daughter and her nieces to a concert for us all to go together. So she flew in nieces from kind of across the country, and we went to the Green Day tour this summer together. And it was so much fun.
I am so bummed that it looks like we're probably not going to get them as a headliner. I think they would be a good fit on the farm one of these days.
They would be incredible. I don't know who they have booking them, but to like not have a new album out and then to be headlining Coachella is bonkers to me.
I know, right? All right, let's keep it going around. There's a dog going crazy in the Christmas spirit around here. All right, anyways, we're going to keep going ladies first. Skyler, tell us something good that happened for you this past year in 2024.
Oh, well, Chloe stole mine. I was going to say seeing all of you guys twice. So echoing that. But I also, I have been on a mission to move back to the New York City area since like 2020. And I finally managed to do it this year. And I have a really good apartment and a lot of wonderful people around me. And I'm having a really good time.
Hell yeah, brother. All right. We're going to keep going around because we have a special guest on this week. I always try to get somebody from Inforoo on whenever we do a special episode, whether it be Christmas or the lineup drop, because I really do think, you can make all your jokes, but they do have like a very special place in the community. So you may have seen him in the confirmation thread and other places as Post Jack. We've got Jack on. Jack, tell us where you're from.
Mobile, Alabama.
All right. I did not realize that. You're on the other end of the state from me.
That's right, man. Yeah, just a 7-hour straight shot to Bonnaroo, really. So
just right up 65, I imagine, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell us something positive that happened for you this past year in 24.
Okay, I got that PM from you, and I just couldn't shake this one very small thing that happened to me last month, and this story's gonna kind of start out as a bummer. I'm not going to bring us down, but just stick with me, okay? My wife and I have had a tough year. She a year ago this past May, her dad had a stroke, and it was a tough year as health conditions like that can bring on. And then this past summer, right before I was supposed to go to Bonnaroo, he falls, goes in the hospital, goes into hospice, and ultimately we lose him. And we're just devastated, obviously, to not go to Bonnaroo. And what was weird is that right when he went into hospice, I had a full-blown panic attack, which I had not had in like 15 years. Okay, just my heart racing. I was at work. It was just absolutely wild. And they just kept coming and coming and coming. And so I don't get too lost in all this. I just want y'all to know that the connecting threads of this story are going to be community and music, which are the two things to me that Bonnaroo is really all about. And when you experience tragedy in your life, the beautiful thing is when you've nurtured relationships over the years, how your community will just wrap its arms around you, and that's your Bonnaroo community. That's my Inforoo peeps. That's my in real life friends. That's my family. That's my workplace even, and with the panic attacks, I have a friend of mine who I dubbed my anxiety guru because he had, suffered similar things in the past that I had helped him through. And he helped me through it, and via meditation and various other things over the months, I began to calm down. Had not had a panic attack in a while. Last month, I'm talking to my friend, this beautiful person, and talking about it. And I said, the one thing that I noticed is that I have not cried probably since we lost Melody's dad. I had not cried in a long time, and I'm a crier. Like, I cry at songs make me cry, movies make me cry, TV shows make me cry. I just cry all the time, and I had just not been crying. And he was like, "Oh man, don't worry about it. That'll come. Like, what matters is you're stable and you're doing good." And I was like, "You're right, you're right." And I was driving from the office and listening to the Grateful Dead, as I want to do, one of my favorite bands, and Birdsong came on. And
oh man,
I'm cry talking about it, but that chorus, "Don't you cry," and I just immediately tears just leapt into my eyes, and it was just like a beautiful moment of, I just felt the love, man. You know what I mean? I felt the love from the conversation I just had with a friend I love dearly. The love that pain attracts the community, and and then via the power of music to help me feel this feeling that I had missed, which is the happy cry. So sorry if that ran a little long, but
oh no, that's totally cool.
The first thing that popped in my head, man, when I saw your message, and it was just a really beautiful moment. And I'm so grateful for music, and I'm grateful for the people in my life that I love.
Well, I'm so glad you shared that with us. I think a lot of us have, different but similar stories. Sharla and I do too, as well. Sometimes, even in the hard years, you find a really, really, really nice silver lining. And I love that you shared that story. I think a lot of us have experienced things like that. That's a good one, Jack.
Thank you.
All right, wow, that's a tough one to move on from, but we're gonna try. So I have somebody in my Zoom that's just showing up as iPhone 40, and I legitimately don't know who this is. We're gonna get them to reveal themselves.
Oh, hey, it's me, it's Barry.
Why?
Sorry, I don't know why it's not
Dad?
showing up.
That's all good. Well, I'm so glad you can make it. What have you been up to? You been doing well?
I've been doing great. I knew you would pick me to follow that from Jack. Jack, thank you. Seriously, but yeah, no, I've been doing great. To your question, I was gonna say, like everybody probably, just being part of this community is I'm a lot older than you guys, and I can tell you that it's not usual, this sort of community. There are smaller versions of it, um, in my lifetime anyway. You're lucky to have, a small group of people that you want to speak with year round. In our case, we have thousands, and it's pretty cool. So, I thankfully I don't have tragedies, bad things this year. It's been a pretty good year. So, but the big thing for me is, well, getting to see you guys um, on the farm. That was huge. That was a lot of fun for the beer exchange, and just getting to put faces with names and people, and it meant a lot.
One of my favorite sayings that you kept having this year was that this year was the Hug and Howdy tour. And
Absolutely.
I think you succeeded very well, because whenever I was around and you were there, you were like just going around playing politician, like hugging everybody, smiling.
I wasn't politic, and that was my goal, and I did it, and it was amazing. I got to hug and howdy with so many people that I've gotten to know over the years because of this festival, and
That's awesome.
I do not take that for granted.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could talk about this all day, and we have before on here and on y'all show too. Like, there's been so many incidents, whether it be like at Lindsay's farm or here at my house for South Star, where everybody just happens to get together throughout the year,
Absolutely.
even when it's not June. All right, so I do have some fun party games in the spirit of the season. We always do this episode a little bit differently. We don't really necessarily have a Bonnaroo agenda. We could talk lineup stuff all day, but we'll get back to that after Christmas. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a number of questions that Sharla helped me put together, and we're going to do like a random number generator. So it's basically digitally rolling the dice. So there's a different question for everybody. Some of it's Rue related, some of it's just generally music related. I am going to pick Barry to go first since he kind of disguised himself for a moment there. So, Barry, we have 11 questions. I'm rolling digital dice for you. So, you're getting number 8. So, this question is, what is your favorite show that you saw this year that wasn't at Bonnaroo?
Beat at the Ryman,
Ooh, tell us about it.
unquestioned. It was amazing. I did. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what that is. That's the King Crimson um, thing. Uh, Several Adrian Ballou, Steve Vai, Danny Carey, the drummer from the Tool.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that was an amazing show. Got to go with my older brother and his son. Uh, we made a full 2 days of it, drove up, hung out, walked to the show, saw the show. Um, I hadn't been to the Ryman in years and years and years. And it's just great. It was awesome. Pretty amazing.
I haven't been to the Ryman forever. I'm going there to see Old Crow on New Year's with Charlotte. I've been looking forward to getting back in there. Anybody else want to jump in? What's your favorite non-Rue show that you saw this past year?
Say Hosier when I saw him in Madison. He was incredible.
Ooh, I think now listen, I'm not going to say too much, but I think there are reasons that you should tell us a little bit more about that Hosier show.
Oh yeah, just random reasons. I would love to talk about it. He was just so good. He's got a crazy catalog. I think a lot of people know him obviously from like Take Me to Church from years ago and then Too Sweet from this summer. But he had a whole album kind of in between there that was so good. I think he was at Ruin, 2019?
It's been a while,
For that
yeah.
album. Yeah, it's been a while, but he was so good. He played tons of great stuff. He's a really great storyteller. Kind of gives me like Paul McCartney vibes in terms of storytelling, where he like is really funny and engaging, but then he's like back to the music. He walks that line really well. But yeah, he was great and he sounded so good. The band he has with him is incredible. They're so good. I couldn't get over it.
All right, thanks. I think we're going to have to return to that subject here in a couple of weeks.
Fingers crossed.
Anybody
Hey,
else
Daniel,
got
can
one?
I hop in with yeah, let me hop
Go ahead,
in.
Jack. Yeah.
Now, technical question, point of order. Does this year count if part of the show took place, if it maybe started on 12/31, but it didn't wrap up until January?
Oh, well, yes, that totally counts. Tell us.
So I'm a fish guy, and last New Year's Eve was my 94th fish show, and I used to always joke that people are like, "What songs are you chasing?" And I'm like, none anymore. I'm just waiting for them to do a full game hinge set, ha ha ha," which they haven't done since 1994 and would never do again
You
until
were
last New
there?
Year's Eve. I was there.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, so that would have to be it, by default. But if that does not count, then I was able to see Dead and Company at the Sphere this past summer, and that was my first and so far only Sphere experience, and it just absolutely just knocked my socks off, man. Just
Well, I think Evan has gotten his mic back. He went to a show there too. I don't know if you guys were at the same show or not.
Yeah, is my mic working now?
You're good.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess back to the original question, which piggybacks off of almost everything everyone said. Um, yeah, my highlight of the year, I think, was probably the Sphere show. In other news, it was having Skyler move up here changed the dynamic of my life a little bit.
Oh,
But so that was as the highlight as well. But yeah, the Sphere show, and then kind of deepening the Rue thing, like going out to Vegas with, Maddie, who I've known for like a year, and then meeting Brian Stone out there. It really solidified the fact of this community, and it feels like any of us can go anywhere around the country, and we'll have a friend somewhere, and that will have all the same interests as us. So I think it's a really, really cool thing that we have going here.
so what you're saying, Rue really is the friends that we made along the way.
It seems that way.
All right, let's go to the next round. We're gonna get another person to kick off the next one. Skylar, I'm gonna randomly roll the dice for you. You're getting number 9. Here's your question. You're in charge of Bonnaroo for a day. What major change do you want to make?
Ooh, oh my goodness. That's a huge question. Well, I would immediately add a bunch of shade structures around the witch. Um,
Oh,
I would make all of the beer free. I would have a couple musicians just like roaming the grounds as musicians at large. I'm thinking like Mark Rebier, Jack White, Margot Price did it at I think Bourbon and Beyond a few years ago, which seemed pretty cool. I would like to see. Let's see. I feel like there's one more thing I could do here that would be pretty incredible. Oh, I'd bring back Ham again.
oh yes, please.
Yeah, I need that brisket mac and cheese back in my life.
Anybody else want to jump in on that one? What's a big change that you would make if you got to be Brad for a day?
I think it would be really cool to encourage artists to do a little more collaboration with each other and have a lot more like unique sets. I know we have the Super Jam, but I think just having, encouraging a lot more just hopping on stage. So kind of what Skylar said is just having like really unique sets to Bonnaroo. I think that would help set it apart. Because I think a lot of the stuff feels like we're getting somewhat regular festival sets, so I think that would help really make it unique.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. Barry, let me pose that question to you because you get to see back a house a lot more than all of us do. Is there anything that you would change up?
I like what Jack just said, and I don't know how you do it because we've talked about that for years. I don't know if it's a artist thing. We tried to ask questions, but that was always what made it so special. Is you didn't know what was going to happen, who was going to play with who, and I don't think I don't think anybody has squashed it. It's just maybe a change, but that was always cool. I remember one year walking into the Centeroo area, the media area, and guys jumped out of an airplane and parachuted and landed in the area, and it was, holy cow, where'd that
That
come
kind of
from?
happened this past year. They were doing some promo, and there were these paragliders that came in at 1 in the morning, right before T-Pain started. I think at that
Yeah.
point everybody was like, "Is this real? Is this really happening right now?"
Yeah, but those kind of things, that and we talked about the comedy, or we talked on our show anyway, that bringing some comedy back and just those little extra, not little, they're pretty big, really. I know they're a lot of work, and in some way, and when you ask that question, I don't know how to answer it, but in some way, a lot of that used to happen in Centeroo, so it was more centralized. And now so much happens out in the camps, but not everybody can get to um, everything, you know. And I'm not sure where I'm going with that. I think it's awesome that so much stuff is happening, but it's so hard to see it all,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. You literally could spend your entire time out in the camping area and not see not go into Centeroo.
I have
And I'm
actually
not
spoken to
sure that's
people.
100% great or not. I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out.
I have actually spoken to people who claim that they've done that. Whether or not they did is another matter or whatever.
Yeah.
All right,
I
let's
don't
jump to
know.
the next one. I'm going to give this one to Chloe. We're going to move it along. Chloe, what was your favorite album that released this past year? We'll go around the horn on this one too.
Oh my God. Holy crap. What was great this year? Oh my gosh, so much. Uh, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm kind of stuck in the end of 2023. Um, gosh, I don't know.
So
I mean, let's just bring it back. Go ahead.
let's rephrase the question. The album didn't necessarily have to release this year, but pick an album that really hit big for you this year.
Oh, okay, that I can answer. The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess by Chapel Roan.
Oh,
I've been banging that since it came out last fall, so
I got to give Chloe credit. She is the first person that spoke the words Chapel Roan to me. Like I first heard of her from her.
I will take that to my grave. You don't even know.
I
It
think it
brings
was
me
like
so much joy.
it was like immediately after the lineup dropped almost a year ago. You were like on our Discord, like, "Hey guys, I think you need to listen to her. This is pretty good."
And I was right.
She was
Write
right.
it down. No, I'm just kidding.
Anybody else want to jump in there? What was the album that hit the most for you this past year?
I think Jack White returned to form this year with No Name. The
Ooh.
way that he released it, just kind of unceremoniously dropping it in white vinyls in people's bags at Third Man locations. And then the tour that he did this year, like the way that he rolled that out, the way that he has kind of worked his way through the country, exactly the way that he's always wanted to, I think was pretty incredible. No Name was definitely number one for me this year, but I also would like to point out the album that Andrew Bird and Madison Cunningham made that is a cover of Buckingham Nicks. It's called Cunningham Bird, which is adorable, but it is just beautiful. I mean, Andrew Bird is the violin player. Madison Cunningham's a beautiful guitar player and songwriter. The way they sound together, the way they interpret those songs is absolutely phenomenal. And I think that one was kind of slept on. And number three, I have not done a top 10 list, but I'm thinking about it now. Number three was Manning Fireworks by MJ Lenderman. Phenomenal. He's the guitar player from the band Wednesday out of Asheville, North Carolina. Just an absolutely fantastic songwriter, really incredible band touring with him. I'm really, really hoping he'll be a Bonnaroo this year. I can't wait to see him. But that Manning Fireworks is just really, really phenomenal.
I have got to listen to that. I have not at all. All right, I want to
Highly
throw this.
Oh,
recommended.
Daniel, no, yeah, dude. So Skyler, you took mine. I mean, it's the new Jack White album, and you said MJ Lenderman, and I know this is an audio format, but I had my hands in the air like cheering.
I saw. I'd high five you right now if I could.
All right, right on. Yeah, MJ Lenderman, just awesome stuff. And I'm sorry, Daniel, but I have to back up to the previous question briefly
Sure.
to just bounce off what Evan and Barry said, because I think about this all the time. If I was king for Bonnaroo for a day, longer sets for bands that can play longer sets. I mean, if you got Goose, give them 3 hours. If you got King Gizzard, give them 3 hours. Number two, which I know we're not talking about Bonnaroo news necessarily, but oh no, hold on. First, number two, if there is a band that has a real connection to Bonnaroo, you don't have to wait 5 years for them to play. Like if My Morning Jacket will play Bonnaroo every year, let's let them play every year. I love My Morning. Everybody loves My Morning Jacket. Like let them play every year. Number three is the idea of a residency, of bring in a band that can do it and have them play a different time slot every day, three or 4 days of the festival. And we might be getting that this year, is all I'm saying.
Jack,
there's
you talked about
a little hubbub about that. So
you talked about Fish earlier, and they play their own festivals where they're in residency for 3 or 4 days. I mean, the idea isn't new. I mean, Bonnaroo itself kind of sort of came from Fish festivals. So yeah, it makes sense for us to have a band or 2 or 3 that's playing multiple nights. We kind of had that with Pretty Lights last year, and I think that worked out pretty well.
It feels like maybe Rue is starting to get that, and I'm excited about that, and the excited about the possibility of another. Pretty Lights was just 2 shows, but still like 2 sets, pretty cool. But the idea of residencies from bands or artists that can do it, moving forward, like I just think that'd be so much fun.
Yeah. So I want to go back around to the album question because I want to pose that question to Barry because I know he is very well listened. Barry, what was some of your favorites this past year?
Yeah, you guys are way more current than I am. I keep going back, especially because it's kind of interesting. I've got kids and grandkids that are getting into vinyl, so I'm trying to put together classics that I think they need to have in their collections. So I'm glad to hear Jack mention My Morning Jacket, though, because that's probably the more current. The Double Live from 2004 is one of my favorites. I have that vinyl and I love it and listen to it a lot. But I'm going back and trying to build collections of, Marvin Gaye and just things that I think my kids need to have um, and want because they'll listen to it. So as far as like current, the Chaperone is great. There's a lot, but I'm old. I'm listening to the classics.
So Barry, you were talking about that on the What this past week about like what are the top albums that you need to have as part of a collection like that. And one that popped in my head, maybe because that new movie is coming out next week, is Dylan's Highway 61 Revisited. I feel like that has
Yeah.
to be one that you got to have.
Yeah, and it's funny, after the shows, we started talking about Christmas albums, and if you don't have Christmas Cocktails, the Ultra Lounge collection, they did a whole series. Those things are so good. They're just so much fun. They're great party albums. They're great listening by yourself, but they're also good for just putting on. So, I think I said on the show, I love Christmas music. So that's kind of where my head is right now. I
You
like
know,
old, good, new, bad. Doesn't
with
matter.
Christmas music, my musical taste like changed drastically. Like for example, the band Alabama from Fort Payne. I love their Christmas music. Like Christmas in Dixie, like is a
Yeah.
banger track.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those guys get it. I wasn't a big fan of them. That's not country during that time, but their Christmas stuff is great. For sure. That's a good pull.
All right, let's go around to the next one. Jack, I want to get you for this one. So we're getting to know you a little bit better. I feel like those of us that hang out a lot kind of know the answer for this question from each other, but I want to hear it from you. In all of your time at Roo, what was the best show that you ever saw on the farm?
It was Jack White 2014.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just that was 2014, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Just incredible. But I can't. It's funny. Actually, I joked about how I created a spreadsheet trying to anticipate questions I might get on this, and I did have a whole list of favorite Bonnaroo sets of all time. So, but Jack White was definitely it. But I also things I really appreciate was I got to see Kings of Leon in that tent in 2004, I think, and and I've not been a fan of their later work, but like Youth and Young Manhood was just incredible to me and is still incredible and still gets a lot of listen to me. And 2023 Knocked Loose last year was just, I mean, it was just madness. Or not last year, 2 years ago, it was just sheer madness. And
That
to
was
see that
wild.
kind of like, metal was my first love in music, and to see that kind of intensity, that kind of pit, but all like friendly and happy was really, really cool. 2019 Lonely Island. Obviously, I'm all, not obviously, y'all don't know, I'm a big SNL nerd, big comedy guy. Bring back the comedy tent. That's right, Barry. And there was one more I thought I wanted to highlight. And 2015 Atomic Bomb. Unique, again, like super unique set,
Oh,
super
yeah.
duper awesome, great time. So, yeah. But Jack White is the one. So,
You're going to get along great with our crew because so much of what you just said overlays with some of our favorites.
I feel like Jack White 14 is kind of objectively the correct answer to that question, though.
Look,
absolutely.
I have a hot take. I think arguably Jack White's show in 2014 could have been better than McCartney's the year before.
I rank it above McCartney, but my hot take is that I think D'Angelo 2015 was better than both of them.
Oh, yeah, we've had this conversation before.
Nobody does it like D'Angelo. And actually, today happens to be the 10-year anniversary of the release of Black Messiah. So give it a spin. It's one of the greatest records of all time.
All right, will do.
Well, I'm going to respect your answers, but it's McCartney and then everybody else. But the Gambino show was pretty doggone good too.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
amazing
wild.
to watch one man hold that stage.
I'll tell you a quick funny story. So, like, me and our camp was at the back of the pit for Gambino that night. And we got in pretty late. We thought like, oh, this is gonna be fine. We'll see the stage. We're still pretty close. And then we turn around and they're, bringing him out in some contraption. These days it's like Taylor Swift inside the janitor's rolling thing or whatever. They had something similar for him. And we slowly realized he's literally like 10 feet away from us, even though we're in the back. We all collectively lost our shit. That was a fun night.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
All
It
right.
was good. There've been a bunch.
Last one, and we'll start with Evan for this one. I kind of saved this one for him. The rest of them are random, but I had him in mind for this question. Evan, what was the funniest thing that happened at camp this past year?
Off the top of my head, it's got to be drink from the slit.
You gotta
Oh,
wait. Explain this, please.
I might need Chloe's help because I was there for the second part. But
oh my God. Okay. This is so embarrassing. Oh my God. I wish you could see my face. I'm so red right now. Okay. So you've got your classic slap the bag, right? You can't go wrong. That's always a winner. But this was like Sunday. We're sharing a brain cell between all of us in our group. No one knows what time it is. It's absolutely chaotic. And I think one of us in our camp had like a gallon jug. And like something punctured it. And so we were drinking water from the puncture. And then we made it into like a slap the bag, but drink from the slit. And we were like chanting for people to drink from the slit. Oh my God, I'm like really warm right now because I'm just like absolutely dying. But yeah,
I'm having a very vivid flashback.
I know. And we're like holding it up. At one point, I think we peaked when sweet Charmel was holding it up from her like Amazonian height, and like sweet infant JB was like kneeling at the ground like an altar. Drink it. We never came back from that moment. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's photo evidence of this somewhere.
I've got a video for sure. Yeah, that was a lot. And there was just lots of chanting of drink from the slit, and it was really out of pocket.
you're welcome.
Okay,
Oh my God.
that's a pretty good. All right, wait, let's pose this question to people who weren't at our group camp. Barry, how about you? Did anything funny like that happen at Camp Nut Butter?
I got nothing to compare with that. I'm not even going to try. No.
Now, wait a minute. What goes on back there? I came back to visit you guys this past year, but like, how is the vibe back there in the back at Nut Butter and some of those other camps? I guess it's not as crazy as what we're describing.
No, it's calmed down quite a bit. I mean, at one time we had 28 people. This last year is more like 7. And God, this is such a whiny bitch thing. But when they moved us from what is now 931 or whatever, it just changed the whole vibe, and we're a much smaller group. And people have moved on and had families and whatever. So no, it's not nearly as and obviously the pandemic and everything. I mean, before that, our camp, we had a picket fence, we had an archway with our sign, we had, what is that stuff called, like for weddings that you put down, not tool, but what you would roll it out, like a white carpet type of thing.
I love the mailbox that you used to
the
have.
mailbox. Yeah, I made the Christmas mailbox, and I always joke the next year, and then the pandemic hit. My goal was to bring livestock. I wanted to have chickens. I really, really wanted chickens. I thought it'd be so funny for people to wake up and there'd be a couple of chickens walking around.
So that's amazing.
We had a Swiffer, I mean, we had the wedding tent and a Bloody Mary tent. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool setup, but it's changed quite a bit. Now, I actually feel like we're starting to swing back around. There might be new people. So I'm looking forward to this next year.
Well, if you need some more action, you're always welcome at our group camp.
Oh, there's no
there's
question. I
always-
mean, that's probably the funniest thing was running into, the Rooham guys with their what is that beer
Oh,
gun,
yeah,
the shotgun
I saw that.
sport gun thing. That was pretty cool. So yeah. Nothing
Hang
like
out with us.
what'd you call a drink from the slit? No, we didn't have anything like that.
Jack, how about you? Where are you camped at? What kind of good stuff is going on where you're camped?
Oh my gosh, y'all are about to cut me from this podcast. I stay in a hotel. I'm a Murfreesboro
Oh wow.
kid.
No, he's done.
Day,
He's done.
yeah, I'm a
Send him
day
back to
parker.
Inforoo.
I'm a day parker. I'm like the only one I know. But now I camped in 03 and 04. And when I started coming back to Rue in 2012, I was like, I'm gonna stay in a hotel. So not really the camping type. So I drop in and out every day.
Well,
All right,
and
I got to know how does that work? Tell me, how does that work time wise? When do you get in? When do you get out?
So I will get in, like usually whenever the first act, I want to see starts in Cinnaru, which used to be noon, but now they kind of start a little bit later, So I'm typically I show up and I go into Cinnaru and I'm in Cinnaru for 12 to 14 hours. And then I leave 3:15, 3:30, something like that. Like I can't AM, I can't I can't push to a sunrise set, but telling y'all, man, getting back to that air conditioned room, taking that shower, maybe getting a Waffle House, before you, late night Waffle House, sleeping in that bed, waking up refreshed. Anyway, I don't recommend it because part of the beauty of Bonnaroo is the immersion. I've heard all of y'all on your respective podcasts talk about that before. The beauty is you show up and you are there for 4 days and the outside world ceases to exist, but for me, I'm a sober guy. I've been sober for 18 years and attended, the past from 2012 to, current Bonnaroo. I've attended them all sober, so I don't have to worry about driving under the influence or anything like that. And I just really value my sleep, and as long as I brought that up, I do want to, Barry, I do want to shout out the awesome interview y'all did with Patrick from Sober Room on y'all's podcast.
Wasn't he great?
He's so great, man. And he's speaks so eloquently, and he probably would not know. I mean, he would recognize my face, and hey, remember me? I'm Jack. But I've been knowing him since like sober panic shows way back in the day, like in my early recovery. And he's just a real kind, awesome person.
Yeah,
so that was a great episode. Thank you for
good. Thank you for saying. We talk about that still. Obviously, it's it's very near and dear to Brian, but he was great. That was a great.
But anyway,
because he's good at what he does.
Exactly. Yeah. Any 03 and 04 stories when I was actually camping are just not safe for broadcast. Sorry. There are stories, but I don't know. Maybe offline. We could talk about.
Tell me those later. Yeah. All right. To finish it up, we're going to go around everybody for one last question. I think this one's pretty easy and fun. It is related to the lineup a little bit. I want to know, who are you most hoping to see who isn't already kind of confirmed or heavily rumored already? Who do you want to see this coming year? And I'll go around as I see it on Zoom here. Evan, I'll start with you.
I think an idea that we kind of put together was James Taylor on Sunday would be phenomenal. I think his tour just came out. I think it's physically possible for him to be there, but I think probably unlikely. But that would be something I think would be really nice to see in the next couple of years.
He would fit a Sunday really well. That's a good call. Barry, how about you? Who would you like to see?
Man, you get me. See, I don't think about these kind of things. I was trying to think some sort of like Warren Hainsey, old school, going back to the early days, like Jack was talking about, the longer sets. I miss that kind of stuff. I nobody jumps right out.
Speaking of like older stuff, somebody was throwing around the idea of Chicago today.
Yeah,
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those, the legacy ones. I'm trying to think who I haven't seen. Like I always mention Van Morrison, but I just think he would suck on the farm. And I love Van Morrison, but I want to see him so bad, but I think he would be terrible there. You know, the ones we've always talked about,
Yeah.
Dolly, Miley, all that stuff. Still.
You know, real quick,
But
talking about throwback stuff. I wish I could credit who came up with this idea, but somebody was saying that since we're getting a Friday the 13th on the farm this coming June, somebody like Alice Cooper would be really fun.
did you see when he was there before?
No, I missed that.
That is it's such a fun show. If you get the chance to see Alice, it doesn't matter where, go see it. It's a fun show. It's another one of those where you'll know everything that he sings for 90 minutes. But he always puts together one of the greatest bands in the world. So it's a lot of fun.
That would
Yes,
be.
I agree, Barry. Several years ago, we saw Iron Maiden and Alice Cooper open for him. Like, what a bill! You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
good
Like,
one.
it's just like Alice Cooper is an opener. You know, it's like two headliners. It's a tremendous fun.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's good fun.
Let's go to Skyler next. Skyler, who are you hoping to see?
Oh, some folks who haven't been mentioned before. I would really like to see Janelle Monáe again.
Wasn't
She
she
has not
great?
really been around since the last big tour, and I think she's doing a lot all the time. But her shows are always so well curated and so crafted and so like specifically put together. They're brilliant to watch and always a good time. I would love to see the Punch Brothers. They've been doing a kind of a spiritual successor, I think, to when Chris Lilly hosted Live from Here and Prairie Home Companion. It's called the Energy Curfew Music Hour. And it's kind of a radio show style kind of performance that they've been doing at a venue here in New York City. But I think Feely is an incredible host. He's one of the best storytellers in the game. They play together so well. And I mean, we could also, Nickel Creek is also in play here. They just finished touring with Casey Musgraves. And there was one, this one's really out there, but the Kilby Block Party lineup came out, and there are a couple of question mark bands on there. And there is a rumor in the indie sleaze community that one of them is a reunion Rilo Kiley show. And they are just one of my favorite bands of all time. I never got to see them before they broke up. I've seen Jenny Lewis as many times as I possibly can, but a Rilo Kiley show would really like fill a hole in my heart that I never thought would be filled.
You are a damn Renaissance woman, Scholar.
Evan thinks I have extra ears.
Maybe so. All right, Chloe, you're up. Who are you hoping to see?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me look at my list. But I will also like to say that the idea of an indie sleaze rumor syndicate actually made me laugh out loud. Like on the indie sleaze rumor chats,
there are dozens of us, and we're all really excited about the Just Like Heaven lineup.
It's helmed by you and Michael. Yeah,
it is.
There's just a lot of like smudged eyeliner and some stray glitter. It's great.
Have you heard of the Strokes?
Stale cigarette smell everywhere. That's great. I might take it kind of small. There's a Nashville duo that's kind of like big, soft synth pop called Golden Blue. They're really fun. They just did a cover recently that's going really well of Forever Young from way back in the day, and it's so beautiful. I think they would have a really awesome set. And I'd really love The Strike. They're like kind of like a bright synth pop, crazy, fun group. And they're kind of doing some touring right now, so I would love to see them on the undercard.
Good picks. All right. Last but not least, Jack, do you have a spreadsheet to refer to for this one?
I do, yes. But outside of the ones that I'm not going to do, the ones from the Reddit thread that are like even reasonably likely. But my like completely left field, like insane, would be Underworld. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with Underworld. They had they're a British, techno electronic band. Born Slippy is probably their big hit from the Trainspotting soundtrack, and it's like a band that Bonnaroo would never book, but they started showing up on American festivals, I guess, and recently in the headliner thread, I don't know why I said this over on Inforoo, I said, if Bonnaroo books Underworld, I'll record a video of myself reading Allen Ginsberg's Howl in its entirety and post it on YouTube. And people got excited about that. And that has now changed to you need to do a reading at Roo live somewhere, of Howl if they book Underworld. And then I just got excited about reading Hal, and I was like, how about we just change it to if Bonnaroo books the Red Clay Strays, I'll read Hal, you know?
Oh my
So I'm
goodness.
reading Hal somewhere in some capacity. So anyway, but Underworld would just blow my mind.
We got to get you with Mitchell. This sounds like something that's up his alley, like screaming poetry at the void.
So
Wait.
I just heard along those lines that Kraftwerk is actually touring next year sometime. So that may be one. I don't know if that would. I know Taco would be all over it, but I would love to see it as well.
Wait, I
That's
have
going way back.
I have an important question for Jack. What's that cute dog's name?
James. That's
Oh.
James behind me. Yeah, that's my pal. And he loves interrupting meetings. So that's one of his favorite things. So
But yeah, sorry, Barry. I would enjoy seeing Kraftwerk too. I just got distracted by a cute dog in the background.
Yep.
I'm going to use my space to advocate for our friend here in Huntsville, Wanda. I have been pushing for her to be on the actual lineup for 2 or 3 years now. I think she's earned it. In just a day or two, she is going to be opening for Brittany Howard in Tuscaloosa. I think she has paid her dues and she is ready to play. And also, like I have mentioned a number of times already, I am really hoping that we get another indie band from Australia. I want to see Royal Otis. I'm really hoping that we get them. I have no reason to know if we are or aren't, but I will be elated if we have them on the lineup poster. So again, I hope we get Wanda, and I would love to see Royal Otis as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I love doing these episodes where we really have no agenda and we just kind of like talk goofy stuff, especially for the Christmas episode that we've done for a couple of years now. Barry, big thanks for you coming on. I love doing these little crossovers where we have one of us on your show or one of y'all on ours. Y'all got anything fun coming up?
We're taking some time off, but yeah, we've had several people reach out that want to be on it that are longtime participants, and I'm very excited about next year. So, but we're taking a couple of weeks off just to re-energize and then get ready for the lineup reveal.
Now, speaking of rumor season, I heard a rumor that you guys are starting to plot something in person in Chattanooga before too long.
Yes, Russ went up to Nashville for that little meet that with Corey, and I guess Brad was there, Parker as well, and they got to talking about doing one in Chattanooga. So we'll see where that goes.
Well, let me know when you know.
You know, in typical form, Russ is all in, and Brian is started whining about how much work it would be.
Well, once you know, let me know because we'll ride up. If I'm not doing something
sure.
for work or already got something planned that weekend, we will for sure come up and hang out.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get the word out.
Good deal. Well, guys, thanks so much. Anybody else got anything that you want to plug, whether it be for yourself or friends or family or whatever? I don't care. The space is yours.
I don't want to plug, but I do want to say thank y'all for having me on. This was a lot of fun, and I was super nervous coming into this, and Daniel really set my mind at ease. And I don't know why I was nervous. Y'all are all super kind and fun and funny, so I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
You're amongst family here. I mean, it's kind of like we were talking about at the beginning of this. There's anywhere from 60 to 80,000 of us in Manchester at any given time, and you can't possibly know everybody, but it's still a ton of friends that you just haven't met yet. All right, guys, thanks so much. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate y'all.
This was so fun. Merry Christmas.
Another? You want another? Guess what? We're not even going to welcome back. We're just in the middle of recording now.
Wow, how about that?
We'll try something new. Okay, so in the future, or the past, depending on how you look at this. The future.
Where are we?
We're back here, and we're going to play the same party game that we just played with our panel.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Why does the milk spill over after he says that? That's one of my favorite things. All right, so it's going to be a question game, right?
Okay,
so
I'm here for it.
I'm going to generate a number. Brooklyn, you're going to go first, right?
Oh, boy.
So it is giving you a 9.
I'm a 9.
Here is the question for number 9. You are in charge of Bonnaroo for a day. What major change do you want to make? And we already talked about Jake and Snake, so it's got to be something else.
God, so
yeah.
I can't choose that?
Yeah, it's got to be something else. We already talked about that.
Okay, well, I know you said I can't, but the first thing that I would do is get rid of that matrimony bullshit and bring back Snake and Jake's. The second thing I would do is bring back Calliope.
Yeah.
Walter Productions.
Yes.
Walter motherfucking Productions.
I love
Bring
them.
it back. Why get rid of something that's so successful?
I miss the bug.
Why get rid of something that so many people love? Bring it back. Bring it back.
I love it.
That's all. That's it.
I
Bring
love it
back
because
Calliope,
it's like a
bring back Snake and
bridge
Jake's.
between
That's
Bonnaroo and Burning Man, because they are a Burning Man standard too, and I miss having them at Roo.
Hot
Charlotte,
take.
Yeah.
Hot take. If you're really into Calliope, if that's your jam,
Go to Burning Man.
go to Burning Man.
Go to Burning
you
Man
will
with me and Charlotte.
love Burning Man because that's all like
But, like,
Burning Man is.
Stuff like that.
That's the fun thing. Like, people who are scared of going to Burning Man, like, they get a taste of it at Bonnaroo, and then that's when they fall in love with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, hey, boom, go to Burning Man.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to go with us
So-
in a few years?
Yes.
Okay.
But, like, no, bring back Calliope 100%.
Oh, I totally agree.
I mean, that's where Ron met Closey, right? Like,
Yes,
on
I
the
saw a
Calliope
picture of
stage.
him with her. Yes.
Like, bring it back. Why get rid of it?
Wait.
I don't understand. Also, another thing that I would do
Yes.
is I would hire Frick Fracks and Blackjack.
Yes. Now, for people that don't know who that is, explain that.
So Frick Fracks Blackjack, they go to they're like a carny group.
Carnies.
They go to a bunch of different festivals. If you've been to Okeechobee, you know exactly who they are. It's a blackjack tent. Like, you gamble and stuff, and then they also have like fun games where they spin the wheel. Like, it's just like a bunch of fun interactive shit. So like the blackjack that they hold, you cannot use money. You cannot use currency of any form. You can't you can't even use like foreign currency. You have to use, like, if you see Frick Frack on the lineup for like the activities at a festival, go to a thrift store and buy the most random, crazy, chaotic shit that you can find, and then go and use that and gamble it and like pick anything that you see on their walls. Like, it is so fun, and it's character building, honestly. I think it's so fun.
I love the time down at Okeechobee where like Mitchell was sitting there for an hour and had like random weird bullshit, but then at
Dude.
the end he throws down his giant fur coat and the whole place just stops.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then he won.
Yes.
And he got his fur coat back. But, you know, the other time he bet his mustache.
I was there. He had to shave it.
And he lost, and
Yes.
they sat him up on the pedestal and they shaved his fucking mustache.
Yes.
Yeah, no, bring Frick Fracks to Bonnaroo. Like,
Now-
it's such a good fit.
Did you know that they are also at Burning Man? I've
I-
looked for
no,
them, but
I believe it.
I haven't seen them there, but I know
I've
they're
never
there.
found them.
Well, I saw photos of them there, so I know they were there. We just couldn't find it. It must have been in some weird
That's
place.
like right up their alley. Like, that's more like Burning Man-esque type shit.
It is.
But
Yeah.
like, those two things, Calliope. No, those three things. Because even though you said I couldn't.
That's okay.
But bring back Calliope, bring back Steak and Jake's, and bring in.
Steak and Jake's.
Call it snake.
Steak-
Steak and
steak-
Jake.
It's steak
Hey,
and
look, I have
Jake's.
steak on my mind, okay?
Steak.
At all times. Steak is on my mind. But also bring in Frick.
Frack frick.
Frack Frick.
All right.
Frick Frack. Frack.
Good picks, Brooklyn. I
Frack.
would love for you to be in
You
charge.
should go next.
Me?
Yeah.
Not you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go next.
Go
Okay.
next.
I'm getting a 2. We're basically rolling the dice like a drunk game with Eric. 2 is, what's the best show at Roo that you ever saw?
Oh, such an easy question.
Well, the easy answer for that is Paul McCartney in 2013.
But that doesn't count.
But yeah, Charlotte's right. That's so good that doesn't even count. I was thinking about this just the other day, and I was talking with you about this. I think it's very hard to pick one, so I'm going to give you a couple. Jack White in 2014 was mind-blowing and life-changing. He owned the crowd that night. That was like seeing Michael Jordan play basketball or just somebody at the top of their game doing everything that they're capable
Hold
of.
up, can we take a timeout?
Yeah.
You saw Michael Jordan play ball.
Baseball. Yes, when he was with the Birmingham Barons. I did.
Okay.
I was like 10 years old. Anyways, yeah, so Jack White, 2014. This is high on my mind right now, so I'm a little biased, but I would also put in the upper echelon King Gizzard just a few years ago at like 1 or 2 in the morning, late night, over at that tent.
Really?
Yes. The more that time passes, the more legendary I realize that show was. That was also an example of seeing somebody at the top of their game. And that whole 15 or 20 minutes or whatever it was for the dripping tap at the end, when I pass, I want that 15 or 20 minutes on my highlight reel. I loved it so much. So yeah, if you ask me right now, this very moment, those are my top three. Paul McCartney 2014, Jack White in 2014, and then King Gizzard just a couple of years ago. There's many others I could mention, but those are at the top of my mind right now. All right, Charlotte, now it is your turn. Are you ready? I'm rolling the digital dice
I hope
here.
I get a good one.
You get a
I got 9. Brooklyn just answered
She just
that
did that
one,
one,
so
so
yeah.
let's do another one. You get a 2.
You just did that one.
Wow, how random is this? All right, 6. Your question is, what is your least favorite show that you ever saw at
Elton
Root?
John.
Oh. Now explain
Unpopular
yourself.
opinion. And I've discussed this before, but
Yes.
because from my perspective, he just got up there and he played the piano and he looked down at his piano and he did not interact with the crowd. And I think that was because I was coming off the high of Jack White the previous night, and I was coming off the high of Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie was
yeah.
mind-blowing. He was so good.
Lionel Richie and Elton John in one lineup.
And I was coming off the previous year of Paul McCartney. So I was expecting something more like a Paul McCartney. And so when I get up there and I see Elton John just looking down at his piano and having zero crowd interaction, I think the only thing that he said basically was, "This is my first festival."
Yeah.
And then just looked down at his piano the whole time. You know, I was just kind of like, oh, that's it? Like, this is all you have, you know, this is all we get? So I think that was the most disappointing show that I've seen. And I think it also, the crowd that we were around, the people around us were not singing along. And I really expected a big Tiny Dancer sing-along. When he played Tiny Dancer, nothing.
Oh, I would have fought people.
Hold me
I was
closer, Tony
singing,
Danza.
yeah. I was singing, but no one around us was singing.
What the
And
hell?
last thing I'll say, he did not play Daniel. Do you know how many, this was like 2014, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people in that crowd was probably named Daniel?
So many.
Look, there's a lot of us born in 1984 that were clearly named after the Karate Kid.
Clearly. Top movie of 1984.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So, and he didn't play that. So, yeah, so very unpopular opinion, but that's my most disappointing
It's a very
show.
valid opinion.
Here's my one issue with the Elton John show that year. There are a lot of us that were of a certain age, that were 90s kids, and he did not play the Lion King song. And he really let me down by that.
I mean, now, is that the worst show that's ever been at Bonnaroo? Absolutely not.
No, the worst
that's
one-
just my most disappointing show.
The worst one I ever saw was Internet James at the other stage. And the only reason I remember that guy's name because that show was just god-awful.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Mine was Lucy.
Lucy?
Come here and tell us why.
Yeah, why? Why?
Mostly it's a me thing because I was coming down from a high.
Oh.
From some
I
Bud
was
Light.
sitting in the sand at the beach, and this was like when I got dumped that one year.
No.
Yeah.
That didn't have anything to do with the show, though.
No,
So maybe you're
but,
a little biased.
It was just. I don't think it's a disappointing thing. Maybe it was just all me, but like. I don't really.
Well, you were just in a bad headspace.
I don't really care for Lucy anyway.
She was all right. I remember her. All right. We're going to go 2, maybe 3 rounds.
Okay.
Brooklyn is up next. Let's generate a new one. Number 4 for Brooklyn. What was your favorite song released this past year?
Oh, that's a good one. So many good songs.
Break My Love by Rufus Du Sol.
Off the recent. Oh, so this is a good time to talk that for your birthday this year, we're going to go see Rufus in Nashville in May.
I am going to no longer be the same human that I am now. I have never seen Rufus Du Sol live, and Rufus Du Sol is my absolute fucking favorite of any artist ever. And I have been obsessed with them for probably 3 years at this point. I was a little late to the game with the Rufus thing, but like, no, that's like all I've been listening to, and
Yeah, I can vouch.
Oh my god! Finally getting to go. You are coming.
I'm going.
Kayvon's going. Nick and Blue are going.
Did Shayna say she's going?
Shayna's going.
Hell yeah, brother!
Drew is flying down to go. Like, and
Your
we're
boyfriend,
getting,
yeah.
We're getting a huge, little
We're gonna get an Airbnb,
Airbnb is right in the middle of East Nashville.
Oh, we can go see Jason at Rosemary's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of East Nashville. And we're gonna. Oh God, it's gonna be so amazing.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait.
While we're on the subject, can I tell you one of my favorite Bonnaroo stories that has to do with Rufus du Sol? This was 2018, I think. I can't remember exactly the year.
I cringe at myself because I missed
So
this.
I don't remember the rest of that night. I don't remember what came before or after because like Bonnaroo memories after you've been so many years are a blur. But that night at that tent for Rufus du Sol was one of my favorite Bonnaroo memories because first of all, they are a great band. I'm with you on that, Brooklyn. But also that night, every Bonnaroo person that I know was at that show. Like, I kept running into, like, so many friends from, like, so many different camps and all over the place. And then the parachute people and Ron brought out Queen Bubbles. I look behind me, and there is a unicorn the size of a house floating by during that show.
Yeah, you know, I calculated it. You know what me and Chelsea were doing during that show?
What?
Sitting in a field, waiting for the next person in the main stage.
You messed up.
I know.
You messed up.
I
Bad.
know.
Bad.
And I was so messed up that I.
You ever been to like a big party and you like know every person there? It was like that for
No,
that show.
I know exactly. I wish I was there for
Yeah.
that. Oh my God.
It was so
That
fun.
is my problem. Okay, like if we were.
Biggest regret?
That is my biggest regret.
Oh, mine is missing. What was it? It was 2013.
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. Missing
that's
Tom
my biggest
Petty. That's my
regret.
biggest regret. I was a rookie and didn't know any better.
Yep.
All right, moving along. Am I next or are you next, Charlotte?
You're next.
I'm next. I'm getting a 9, which you already got a number of times.
11.
11, the last one. What's something that no one knows about you that you've never told anyone?
Okay, so it has
You
to be
two
something
know
that
everything.
I know, and Brooklyn that I don't know, and Brooklyn doesn't know either.
Oh, jeez. Can I pass? Because I'll have to think deep about that. Because I tell y'all everything.
Wait. What is the question?
I tell y'all everything
11?
that there is to know about me.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay.
We should all do that.
One popped in my head. That like would normally be embarrassing, but I was only like 9 years old.
Okay.
So I think it passes the statute of limitations. My grandpa and grandma took me and my cousin Amy, who Charlotte knows, on a trip to Nashville. We stayed a night or two, and we went to Opryland, and they took us on the riverboat over there
I
on the.
thought this was like room and clothes, but keep going.
No, it can be anything. It can be anything. Anyway,
I have a room one.
I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, and it was summertime, and they took us up to Opryland. We did the roller coasters and everything one day, and I think the next day they took us to eat. But also we went on, I think they call it the General Jackson Riverboat on the Cumberland River. It docks over there on the river next to Opryland, and it goes up and down, something like that. I don't remember. That was the only time I ever did it. And there was a house band on the boat. Like, you know, it's like a dinner cruise thing. Everybody's sitting over there eating.
I've never heard the story.
And
Me
the
either.
house band like talked us and other kids coming up there and dancing. So like I'm up there, they're playing like this is the summer that Boot Scootin' Boogie came out.
Oh,
So it's like they
boy.
play that and other country songs of the 90s. And they're making all the kids dance. And we were up there for like 45 minutes. And I embarrassed the hell out of my grandpa, I'm sure. That's pretty much it. I never told y'all that story. That's
amazing.
That's the TLDR.
Why didn't
of
make
it.
the kids come up there and dance?
I don't remember.
Charlotte.
I was a kid. I don't remember the details.
Do you have one?
You go first.
Oh,
Okay, so I have a room one.
yeah.
Y'all don't know this.
Okay.
I'm about to know.
Okay, like 2 years ago at Bonnaroo, y'all remember when I was on that alcohol bender because
Uh-oh.
I got dumped?
Yes.
I passed out in the porta potty.
Oh, God. Wait, where? What porta potties?
The porta potties in the group camp.
Oh, God. That's bad,
for
man.
an hour.
Jeez.
No.
I almost dropped my phone in the toilet part.
Oh, no.
But it was on the floor. Like, I woke
Oh,
up
my
and my phone was
God.
on the floor, and it was
That's
an hour
awful,
later.
man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Charlotte,
I
can you
was
top
going
that?
through it.
I remember
Did you
that
wake
day.
up or did somebody wake you up?
Oh, like I heard a big bang
Yeah.
next to me,
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
I like woke up to that.
Wait,
Yeah.
spare me the details, but were you like still sitting down? Or?
I was still sitting down.
Okay.
I was like leaned against the wall.
Oh my God.
Like
Wait,
it's so disgusting,
quick
right?
story. Something like that happened to me once.
With my pants down and
Oh
everything.
God. So me and Charlotte were on a plane. It was a long
Oh,
plane trip. It was a red eye trip, and Charlotte gave me like one of those like sleeping pills. That's like what's the
Melatonin.
Melatonin, yeah.
Oh boy.
And
No,
I
but
took-
I think I may have given you an actual like sleeping pill.
I did. Well, anyway, I took it
Anyways,
because
yeah.
I'm about to go to sleep. But then the stewardess comes by. Is like, "Can I offer you a glass of wine?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can. I'll take one."
Oh boy.
So I
Mom.
had taken that pill. Then I drank a little wine, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I should get up and go pee before I go to sleep."
Oh, I remember you took a Dramamine. is what
Was it?
Yeah.
Dramamine.
Anyways,
Oh,
Yeah.
I go in there into the bathroom, and the next thing I know, I'm laying on a heap on the bathroom floor in the airplane bathroom, and the stewardess is like, "Sir, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Holy crap! I don't know how long I was out." Anyway,
it was
that's
about,
it. Yeah.
It was about 35, 40 minutes.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And I was like, oh, okay, he's just in there taking a poop. Really long.
No, I was out cold. All right, Charlotte, tell us a story we've never heard.
Well, you guys know partial about this,
Oh.
but you know the whole thing.
We could be getting
Ooh,
good. Okay.
We getting a tea?
So I remember most of Saturday of Bonnaroo 2024.
Oh no. Yeah.
I remember I went back to the camp like several times.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, we were like convincing our newbies, oh, you got to do a sunrise set. You got to do it, our scholarship kids.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Anthony.
We got to do a sunrise set. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to do a sunrise set.
Oh boy.
And I remember walking back in with Sam, he's from Nashville, and Ariel, and Anthony. I remember walking back in with them.
Sam Carbine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
him.
I remember walking back in with them. No, before that. No, back up. Let's back up. Back up. Rewind. Because I remember, let me think. Like earlier in that night, I went to Boots Cooking Boogie Nights. And I remember after that, I walked back to camp. And then I convinced the people that you had to do a sunrise set. And then I walked back into Inforoo with Sam and Ariel and Anthony. And the plan was to go to Pretty Lights, the sunrise set. But I don't remember what happened between then because Boots Cooking Boogie Nights didn't play that late. So, anyways, point being, I passed out in the Inforoo bathrooms.
Oh, she did too.
Yes.
That's a rite of passage, I guess.
But the funny,
At least those are cleaner than a
but
toilet.
the funny,
Well.
the funny thing is when a girl helped me out off the floor.
Oh, fun.
Yes. And was very, very, very nice. And if you're out there
Yeah.
listening to this, thank you so
That's what I love
much.
about Bonnaroo,
Exactly.
It's like, oh
They
girl,
do
let's get
that.
you out of this
And-
K-hole.
It was
Show me
not a
your
K-hole. When I came out of the bathrooms,
Oh, no.
I thought it was still Saturday. The daylight was coming up, but I thought it was still Saturday, and I thought the sun hadn't gone down yet.
So you
Oh.
thought it was a sunset, but it was really just a sunrise.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Man. that
Okay, that's
alcohol
pretty
will
far
get you.
out there, man.
Yes.
alcohol
I thought it
gets
was
you, man.
still
Oh my
sunset.
god.
Stay like.
I don't think either of us
note
can
to all
top
you
that.
Bonnaroovians, stay safe out there, guys. Y'all
Oh
might
my
be going
God.
through some shit, but fucking stay
Watch
safe.
out for one another. Okay, Charlotte, I think it's technically your turn, and let's go one more round.
Okay.
And then I think
Yes.
Brooklyn has a weekly pick for us.
I have a weekly pick too.
Okay, I'll
You
think of
got
one
some
between now and then.
weekly
All right.
picks?
Charlotte is getting a number 6. Oh, we already did that one. Least favorite show. Number 3
Ooh, I haven't got that one.
is, what was your favorite album of this year?
Ooh.
Skip that one because, okay, when I listen to music, I don't listen to like,
Oh,
it came
Oh.
out this year. I just listen to like what I like.
Okay.
Right,
That's
that's
funny.
fair.
Stone was talking about that on the What podcast the other day. All right, let's go. Number 1. What is the best non-show memory from this
that's
last
a
year
good
at
one.
Roo? Yeah.
At Roo?
That is a
Yeah.
really good
Like
one.
not a show, but just something else that happened at Roo this past year. What's your best memory?
So Sunday night, everybody was, laughing and cutting up at camp. And then JB whips out this giant cheese.
What kind of cheese was it?
It was the Mississippi State cheese.
It
I
was
remember.
like
It was like a ball.
Yeah,
The Green
he
Bay
went to
Packers
Mississippi
cheese.
State. Yeah, and he went down there and bought this giant cheese. And I don't know why he waited until Sunday night to bring this out. You think he would have did it before then? But
F you,
whatever.
JB.
No, that's my favorite memory. What you talking about?
Yeah? Well, tell the story.
Okay, so my favorite memory that kind of became like a meme thing. So like, we all went to see Pretty Lights the first show, and I took this awesome picture. It's like my favorite picture that I've ever taken, except my thumb got in the photo. But so I took this awesome picture because we all met up at the water thing that's over there in the Whitefield, and we're all like, we're gonna meet here, and then we're gonna go to Pretty Lights. And it was like a lot of people in our group. It was like 30, 40 people in our group. And so we meet there and we start walking. And I looked back and I took a picture of so many people in our group. And there's Lisa, and she raised her hands
Yeah.
in the air. And there's Daniel. And it's just such a cool like sunset photo. And it's like one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. And, I don't take pictures, very good pictures at all. I suck at taking pictures. But it's such a cool picture. And that's one of my favorite memories.
Oh,
right
that's a
there.
sweet
Just
one,
walking to Pretty Lights. But when we got there, we're getting set up in our little spot, our little area, and everybody's getting there, and everything. And it was so funny. Somebody set down a little tapestry blanket, whatever. Jables, I love him so much. He's so precious. He goes, hey, guys, is it okay? Is it good? Guys, hey, is it gonna be all right if I sit? Can I sit here? And I just go, no, JB, fuck you. And everybody just dies. Because I'm not like a person that uses a lot of curse words. I don't cuss a lot, so everybody just died out laughing.
He shat his britches.
And it became such a meme that I went and got a hat made. There was a place that was making hats, like Mamie Ruth, they make hats, and so I got a hat made that said no JB. And then I ended up losing it at the damn Pretty Lights show, at the next Pretty Lights show.
It said fuck you, JB, right?
No, it said no JB.
No JB.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But then Charlotte was like, later, she was like, people are going to think that says no Joe Biden.
Yes. So yeah, this year.
So then you found one that said fuck you, Joe Biden, right? But it was just JB, right?
No, because then like a few weeks ago, somebody's like, oh, I saw this truck that said FJB. And I was like, well, shit. I've been saying fuck Joe Biden this whole time.
Oops.
All right. One more round.
Okay.
We're going to get Brooklyn. She gets to number 4.
Here we go.
You already got that. What was your favorite song?
Yeah.
I wish it would not count the ones that we already did. Number 8. What was your favorite non-Roo show that you saw this last year? A show that wasn't at Roo.
Oh.
God, what did I see?
I feel like me and you went to some
We
things.
did. We went to a show.
We saw some stuff at the Orion.
It was recent. Like what did we see?
You don't even remember.
Fuck.
Oh, I got one.
No. It was so good. Like, what did we go see? Because I had such a good
Me and
time.
you saw one.
Well, let's let Sharla tell hers, and then you can come back. Oh wait, y'all know? Do you know what it is?
Let Charlotte tell hers. And then
Okay,
I'll-
okay.
you go.
I
You
think
go
y'all
first.
know. Tell us. What is it?
I can't remember. Let
All
her
right.
tell hers.
She's
and
probably
then-
about to refresh your
And
memory.
then I'll remember
No,
like
it's
the
not.
one that I'm thinking of that we
Yeah.
went to. Go ahead
Okay.
and tell
No,
tell
you
that
go,
one.
you go first.
Oh my god, I don't.
Go on first.
Let me. It's gonna be a minute. Hang on. What did we see?
Well, it was last year technically, but one of my favorites was when I went with each of you separately to 2 different nights of fish over at the Orion. But that was last year in 23.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
What did I see with you?
I've seen so many things this year. Charlotte, tell us yours.
Okay, so me and you went to see Third Eye Blind for the 11th billionth.
Oh, yes.
11 billion.
Yes.
And this is my day 20,873 of asking Stephen Jenkins to play Red Summer Sun, and I don't think that he can physically play that anymore.
He's I don't want to say he's an old man, but he's older, and I don't know if his pipes could hit the notes on that song
I don't think
anymore.
that he can sing that or play that anymore.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Okay, so I'll tell a quick story while Brooklyn's thinking of her show.
Because that was last year.
That was last year. So this past, actually just a couple of weeks ago, was the 25th anniversary of Third Eye Blind's album, Blue, which I know for many people that may not mean much, but for me and Charlotte, that means the world, because me and her wore that CD out when we were dating. And that is one of the songs that I love. There's a couple of songs like The Red Summer Sun and 1,000 Julys, and we have seen Third Eye Blind so many times, and they never play either of those songs. And yeah, anyway, Charlotte and I could go on about that. But Brooklyn, what is your show?
TLC.
At South Star.
TLC. And Shayna, this is a shout out to you, my baby girl, because holy shit, it was muddy as hell. Me and Shayna were just slipping and sliding in the mud, like just doing our thing. I got 2 of them, by the way. Doing our thing, and then out of nowhere, like they start playing Scrubs, and then Daniel grabs my arm and pulls me to the front.
You and I respectfully rushed our way up front.
We respectfully rushed our way to the front, and we like lost our shit to No Scrubs. And everybody around, like, we rushed to the front.
Yeah.
And this is how much Huntsville doesn't do music. Because we ran straight to the front.
Yeah.
We were, like, a couple rows back from the stage. And we were just, like, dancing, doing our own crazy feral shit in the mud to No Scrubs. And everybody around us was just staring at us like we were fucking insane. And, like, do y'all not understand how much this song means? Yeah. Fuck you. I'm not here for you. I'm here for those ladies on the stage.
That was an amazing show.
But also, Shine Down with Evan Brown.
Evan Bonnaroo?
Evan Bonnaroo Brown.
That's his middle name.
That's his middle name. Evan Bonnaroo Brown. Shine Down with that man. He, like, hugged me, and we sang, like, oh... It was so good.
I missed
and
that
Lindsay
show.
got a video of us. And it
Really?
was just so perfect. Because, like, I was actually, like... So this is when we all lost me. Because, like,
Well, yeah.
I
ran the fuck off.
It was, like... It was... Because I had to go to the bathroom. But then I...
No,
like,
you saw some dude.
No, I didn't.
No, she didn't.
Because I went to the bathroom.
Buzzer.
And then after the bathroom, I heard Shine Down. And I was like... Wait a minute! I forgot Shine Down was playing today, and I ran straight out of the porta potty and straight to the Shine Down stage, and like right where Mitchell had his little pops, and I was like, oh yes! I was like, here we go. This is the next best. This is the next best thing to Creed. Like I need Creed in my life, and my boyfriend just bought me a ticket. My boyfriend just bought me a ticket to see Creed in August in Edmonton. So if you're in the Edmonton area, come see Creed with us. It's gonna be great.
Leafs.
But like I was losing it, and then I ran up to that, and then there's Evan, and me and Evan were just like, just singing at the top of our lungs, and we had a bonding moment.
Aww.
And it was so beautiful. And then I ran back during, like, right after that, because that's when Gwen Stefani played on the next stage, and I ran back in the mud, mind you, trying to find you guys. Couldn't find you guys.
We
And
told
then
you we were leaving.
my phone was not working.
So you can't
I was
help
trying to find you guys in the crowd, and then next thing I get, oh, we left, we couldn't find you. And it's like, Gwen Stefani's still playing, and I'm like, what?
We wanted to beat the crowd. What was funny, though, was like we were leaving in my car, and Evan was like, hey, I'm pretty sure that's Brooklyn. And like, we picked her up. She had to lay across everybody's lap in the back of my car. Yeah.
I had walked like 2 miles. You know what? Talk about walking to Gunnersville, my ass.
You won't be
would
strutting.
never make it.
JB had to drive. And I said, you know how many times I make JB drive? And JB goes, 4.
Can I tell you a quick story?
No, TLC was my definite,
I can see it.
favorite show.
Let me tell you a quick story, and I don't think I told either of you this. Before the gates opened at South Star, so many of us were in there already because we had to set up the totem booth, and I was pulling double duty that day because we had a NASA booth there. Shinedown came to visit the NASA booth. They wanted to see what the whole band came to see us, and wanted to see what we had going on. I was hanging out with him for 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come see you later." I didn't go to their show later. I'm so sorry, Shinedown. All right, let's go. We're gonna go. We got 2 more, right? So, are you going last or me, Sharla?
I don't know who went last.
Okay, I'll go and then you go. Okay. So, random number. Let's see what we get here. A 2. We already did that. Was the best show we ever saw. Look, I'm just gonna go through this. We're gonna just get one. Yeah. Who are you most hoping to see who isn't already confirmed or heavily rumored this year? Well, I talked about this a week or 2 ago, and I'll pick another one since I already recently spoke about it. But I would really love to see Royal Otis. I have fallen in love with them, and I haven't been able to see them live. I think one that I would really like to see that I haven't seen in a number of years is I want to run them jewels fast, man. I haven't been to one of their shows in quite a while.
Dude, that would be so good.
I would love to rage out at some RTJ, man.
Charlotte,
it's been like at least 5 years.
See every dance move you have.
Oh my God.
They are so fun live. It is punk rock hip hop.
That is one of the funnest shows I've ever been to in my life.
It's so detrimental to the movements, like the activist movements.
Yeah,
going on right
absolutely. Oh, they would be very timely if they came back to Rue. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we get them.
I need a new album from them, like stat.
The only time
it'll probably be a bit.
I ever saw that, because I didn't see them the first time they were at Rue because I was a dumbass and went to bed at like 9 o'clock. The time that I did see them was at Hangout, and Hangout is
fucking stupid.
Well, no, what I was gonna say is Hangout put them on at 2 p.m.
That was lame. Yeah.
Like I said, Hangout's fucking stupid.
It used to not be. All right, last one. Let's get Sharla something here. I'm going to pick this one for you.
Is there anyone that we haven't? Okay.
Yeah. Give us 2 truths and a lie.
Oh.
That was her idea to put that on the board.
Here we go.
But it has to be one that y'all don't, because y'all know everything about me, so.
Yeah. So we'll just leave it to everybody's imagination that's listening.
Do your thing.
Give the audience 2 truths and a lie.
The audience or y'all?
The audience.
Okay.
Not us. Everybody listening on the podcast.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Let me think. You might want to pause it because...
Well, I'll give you mine because I like playing this game. So I've got like some stock answers for this. Mm-hmm. So I can speak with my cat. I have been to 16 different countries, and I have sat in the same room as Harrison Ford.
That is a good one.
But here's the thing. Those are all truths. It's a truth.
You played the game wrong, bud.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were going to say, I've only been to 15 countries.
I mean, that could be right. It's on up there. I've lost count.
I've got one.
All right, give us one.
I'm dating a Canadian.
Yes.
Okay. I'm dating a Canadian.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, she's thinking of...
Oh, see?
Yeah, see, it's tough.
I've made out with a Thai man in Thailand.
Wait, for real?
Not a Thai man, but just a man. A random man.
You made out with a man once, ever.
In Thailand.
Oh.
And I chose Rez over what's her name?
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Yes, I went to both those shows because I went to see some of Rez with you and then went to Stevie.
That was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Charlotte's
got hers.
Well,
which one is a lie?
2 truths and a lie. So
the Thai man.
The Thai man.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah, because
obviously
because you was dating a Canadian when we went last time during that same time.
The first time I wasn't.
Okay, hold up.
Well,
hold up. Can I talk about those 2 fine-ass Brazilian, those fine-ass men?
Yes, you can.
Tell the story.
Holy shit.
Tell the story.
That was straight out of book talk right there.
And you said, I'm dating sons. And I was like, we ain't sold on him.
We were not sold on him.
Words,
and why the hell did I say that?
The first words out of your mouth was, oh, she's married. I'm like, shut the fuck I would have gave you up. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
No, they were hot. They were that hot.
No,
like,
they look
straight
like something out of a magazine. Like you don't understand.
if you
Listen,
my
it was
book talk ladies, imagine Resand or fucking Zayden or fucking like any
something I've never seen in my life.
anybody from the sexy books coming down sweaty from a fucking rainforest.
the way I had this described to me later was like
they were hot as hell.
The last scene.
These guys were like
Oh my
male
God.
models, and they were like
Brazilian island.
they weren't even real. They were a figment of our
then they
imagination.
went
That's what
back
I
into the
believe.
rainforest.
And they were so hot.
And then they just skittled back into the rainforest.
The way I had this described to me was like the last scene of Dumb and Dumber when like the bikini models try to pick
That's
them up.
exactly
That's
what
exactly
it was.
what it was.
That is exactly what it was.
It's
Because Brooklyn over here, I'm dating so and so.
Why was that so dumb? Oh my god, I was so.
And
That's my thing. I'm like,
And she's married. And I would have gave up a 20-year marriage. God
Oh, no.
bless America. No,
Wow.
you don't understand, Daniel.
Wow.
This was like the cover of a book.
they were hot as hell. They were
This
that
was the
hot.
cover of a
These guys
book. You never-
were
You don't
fucking
understand.
hot.
You do not
Like-
understand.
Oh, I followed him on Instagram. It's okay.
Oh, do you? I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Both of them.
I didn't know that part. Okay, Charlotte, you never got to your two truths and a lie.
my two truths
Although
and a
I
lie.
just got a lot of
Two
truths just now, honestly.
Yes, you did.
You know we're just playing. You know
Come
we're just
on.
playing.
We just chilling.
All right,
We're
tell us
just
your two truths and a lie.
You know we're just playing.
I know.
All right.
One of her truths is she ran off with one of the Brazilian guys.
Yeah.
Well,
I used to be a professional dancer. I can play the banjo.
Period.
And wait, hold on.
all right, dancer, banjo.
I used to be a professional dancer. I can play the banjo. And I've been to Thailand 4 times.
Okay. But Brooklyn, you and I are not going to answer this. In fact, we're going to leave this hanging for a week. So Charlotte will come back on the next episode of the podcast and reveal the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
And do not spill it on Discord or Twitter or whatever.
Okay.
We'll save it for the next episode. So people will be guessing for a week or so. So we're going to do that. All right. All right, guys. That was fun.
Wait, we gotta do
Yeah. Brooklyn has a pick.
Yeah.
weekly pick.
Brooklyn has a weekly pick. And Charlotte has one too? You have one too?
I do.
You do?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not have. Oh, I do have something. Let's go to y'all first.
Period.
Yeah.
So weekly pick. Okay, so you guys know that recently I've been diving into the smutty fairy novels, and this is so fucking shallow. But I'm gonna say my weekly pick is not Iron Flame, because that's what I'm reading right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that my weekly pick is a book that I have yet to read. It's called Quicksilver.
What's it about?
From what I understand, it's like vampires and fae and sex.
Well, that checks out. Yeah.
And violence.
Oh.
We like vampires, sex, and violence.
Those are a lot of your favorite things.
So what I enjoy most is like fae, sex, and violence. So fantasy, like like the one I'm reading now is like dragons and sex and violence, and it's like really doing it for me. It's really good. So I'm gonna say the book series Quicksilver. If y'all are familiar, I have not started it yet, but I have like 200 pages left in Iron Flame, and then I have to find a book to read until January 21st when Onyx Storm, the third book to the series that I'm reading currently, comes out. So I will be reading Quicksilver in between. So if you guys are into fairy smut and fae smut and fantasy smut, like whatever, if you're not afraid of the sex, read the books. God damn it. I'm saying, read the fucking books. They're so good. Okay? And don't judge me if my taste is shallow.
I'm not
sorry
judging.
if it is. But
I encourage it.
I love sex and I love fairies, okay? So let's just do that. Okay. Read the book.
There will eventually be a movie or series, you know.
There will be. Okay, so Amazon, I think it was Amazon that Amazon bought the rights to Fourth Wing.
Yes.
So Fourth Wing will eventually be a TV series owned by Amazon.
Amazon does
So
pretty
you
good with
can
their
find
adaptations.
it on Prime in like 5 years.
5 years. All right. Good picks, Brooklyn. I have heard a lot of things about these from a lot of people. So I'm glad you were here to talk
Read
about
the
it.
Fairy Smut.
All right. Charlotte, do you have Fairy Smut or something else?
No, I have something else completely different.
Okay.
So, you know how Mitchell hands out those little slowpoke cards?
Yes. Oh, I know where this is going.
So,
Do it.
Yes.
I am so slow to this. I should have got into it like 2 years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, but I have just now discovered King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Do you know how sexy I find this, that Charlotte's into this?
And I have been down a rabbit hole of bootleg Giz.
Yes.
Y'all, why didn't y'all put me on this earlier?
I've been trying.
Come on.
Have you not been listening to anything I've been saying?
No. Y'all, this is what I
Typical
put
marriage.
in my ears when I go to the grocery store, and I don't want to deal with these people. So I can just put this in my ears and just plow through people.
You should have been at that show that I told you about a couple
Well,
years ago.
Yeah. Why did you make us sell our tickets to that Austin show?
Oh, man.
Daniel.
Well, we'll see him again, I promise. I will get you there. You should have
Okay.
been there with me and Andrew at the Caverns. That was a great show,
Well,
too.
you didn't tell me. You didn't put me on.
I've been trying to tell you for many years,
you
like,
didn't-
hey, King Gizzard is a pretty good band, man.
You didn't put me on.
You didn't specifically put her on.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
got to
thing.
put me on, Daniel.
I'll get you
So
on.
I've been very slow, you know, because I don't get on bands until like
No, that's how I
4
felt
years
about
later.
Rufus, honestly.
Yeah,
Till
I
like
got
yeah.
you, baby.
4 years later. Like Chaperone. I didn't get on Chaperone until like months and months after Bonnaroo. But
Dude, I
anyways,
wasn't on Chaperone until at Bonnaroo.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like
like,
at
who?
her show, and I only knew 2 songs.
Who?
Oops.
but yes, I've just now discovered King Gizzard. And if I can discover King Gizzard, anybody can discover King
I
Gizzard. So
think
please
people should be discovered.
get out there and go listen
Gizzard
to King
and the
Giz.
Wizard.
Yeah, you'll have to find that video for yourself. All right, I have 2. I'll go through really quick. I think it is obvious that I was going to talk about this. Charlotte and I went to go see Lord of the
I
Rings,
knew
The
you-
War of the Rohirrim last
I'm
night.
closing my ears because I want
Yeah.
to go see it with you.
So I am usually not really that big on anime because, like, to me, sometimes anime is a little annoying when it's so overly
That's just your
dramatic.
opinion, bro.
Well, it is, but that's just mine.
I'm fucking
Like, there have been things I enjoyed. Like, back in the day, I really loved Gundam Wing. That was the one for me. A lot of these others, like, I'll see a couple of episodes with Brooklyn, and I'm like, that's pretty cool, but I just don't really truly connect with it. But obviously, I'm going to connect with it when it's a Lord of the Rings movie. And War of the Rohirrim was awesome because it's kind of a standalone story. It is set 200 years before the actual Lord of the Rings movie and books. And it's kind of the backstory to the Kingdom of Rohan and what happens at Helm's Deep. And I won't say anything more than that because there's a lot of surprises that even I didn't see coming because it expands from what little there is in the text about that.
It's that
And
Tolkien shit.
it is. And I really loved how this particular story was all about badass women. That's something that didn't really happen in the original Lord of the Rings books or movies. In fact, it's kind of a meme that there is literally only one 5-second scene where a woman talks to a woman in Lord of the Rings. I love those movies dearly, but that is one fault of them. And this anime makes up for it and then some. Hera is kind of sort of an invented character for this, but she is awesome and fits right in with the rest of the legend, and I loved it. Other thing I'm going to pick really quick is I was looking for a video game to play for the next 2 months before I start traveling. I wanted something to play over Christmas. And Brooklyn, who will be back in a moment, had been hyping up this Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I found it on sale for $20 on PlayStation. I'm like, yeah, let's give it a try. She said it's good. I wanted something fun that I could dig into during the Christmas break. And I have been loving it. I love the settings of Assassin's Creed games because they are like these cool places that you don't normally see in other narratives. And the developers go through a lot of trouble to make sure that it's very historically accurate. So this one is kind of like in the ancient Persian area and what would eventually become Baghdad. And it's fun learning about like a lot of that culture. The one that I loved before this was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where you get to be a Viking and do Viking shit. That was fun. But now it's fun doing a lot of stuff in the Middle East in a really cool time as well. And you have access to that too because we're on the same account on PlayStation, so you can download that on your PS4 if you want to play it.
Yes, and I have one more.
You have one more, yes.
Okay, this is for all of you who are like me and you hate Christmas. Or not really hate Christmas, but are like depressed and lonely during Christmas. I have a song for you.
Yes.
It's a Christmas song, believe it or not. It's by Mount Joy.
Oh.
And it's called Every Holiday. And it's so good. It's so good and so deep. And it makes me cry every time. Like, if you're just driving home from, like, an event, like, you just feel like you need to cry, listen to this song. It's so good.
Was that one of your Sad Girl songs?
Yes.
Yeah, they are cool.
It was. It's so good.
Well, guys, this has been fun. Thank you for getting us to do picks this week, Brooklyn.
Okay.
This has been a fun year with a lot of things for a lot of us personally and for Rue as well. We just got through Thanksgiving, and everybody talks and thinks about these kind of things at the end of the year. I am very appreciative of so many things. I'm appreciative of our community that we have through Bonnaroo, all of our friends at our group camp, all of the friends in many other camps and other parts of the Rue sphere. And Brooklyn, I'm very appreciative of you. You are the best adopted sibling I could possibly have. Sharla,
Right back at you.
I'm very appreciative of you. I am very appreciative to have the most perfect spouse to go in all of our adventures and encourage each other along.
Yes, same.
Yeah, same. Despite the fact that you ran off with a Brazilian supermodel, apparently.
Hey,
Yeah.
we regret nothing except for not fucking them.
I understand, I guess. All right. But seriously, to everybody listening, I appreciate you too. Sharla was showing me the numbers for this podcast that came up in all these like year in review things. And this has been a year of explosive growth for this podcast. And I don't know how, if you've been listening to this for like the past hour or so, because we're clearly like crazy. But I really do appreciate y'all listening, and I appreciate y'all supporting Totem. I appreciate you coming to our events that we throw on Wednesdays or whatever when we're on site in Manchester. And, a lot of us, we talk about this on the What podcast or like other podcasts and different parts of the Roo sphere. Like, it means an awful lot for us to have this giant expanded found family. And especially at Christmas time, it means a lot. There's a lot of you that I wish I could spend more quality time with, but I do get to spend some time at least with so many people. And I am very, very, very appreciative of that. And I love y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
We love you so much. And we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Merry Chrysler. Happy Kwanzaa.
Merry Roomas.
Yeah, Roomas. Like Festivus. All these different things.
All of it.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Honda days.
Happy Yule.
Yeah, whatever it is. Oh wait, what's some of the crazy ones?
Toyota-thon.
Toyota-thon. Excuse me, my family and I celebrate Toyota-thon.
Merry Chrysler.
All right, seriously, guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whichever one is your favorite. Oh wait, do we have to do the feats of strength?
And if you
have to fight me. You have to fight me.
If you have a religion that does not celebrate Christmas, we love you too, and happy holidays.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have a couple of episodes, and guys, guess what? It's just a few episodes away that we're going to be doing the lineup episode. That is always the biggest one of the year. It should be coming the first week or two of January. I think a lot of us know a lot of what's coming, but I guarantee you there's going to be some surprises too. In fact, there's a couple of surprises that I know that I have been keeping in my pocket because I want everybody to be surprised.
No, Rufus.
One for you. No, there's one for you. I know you're going to be happy about, Brooklyn.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh. All right, guys. Seriously. Merry Christmas. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting our nonprofit, all of our friends. We love you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Get out there and radiate positivity.
Happy holidays and clap those fucking cheeks. Bye.